Hi guys, I'm Bri.
And I'm Alli. This is Offscript.
If you think about it, books are potential scripts for movies.
When this adaptation happens, typically it's disappointing because they went off script.
In this series, we will be talking about how off script they went.
Hello, and welcome
To Offscript,
our amazing podcast.
where we compare books to their movies.
We're just over here snacking and drinking. Been a long day.
Really has been. This is our last recording on our marathon recording.
Yes, we've recorded 4 episodes today.
Ironic because the next episode you're going to hear is the
Second.
episode that we recorded today, but
That's okay. This is season 5, episode 6, and we're doing Hannibal Rising today.
we're finally at this series that I've been dying to do.
Woo woo. Anyways, so we got some murder coming your way.
Always.
Cannibalism.
Yum.
Because, like,
Why not?
so I gotta paint a picture.
We're gonna sing you a picture. It's been a long day.
I'm so tired.
I know, it's funny. It's been a long day of doing nothing but recording and like talking. But man, I'm
I
exhausted.
know. I'm interested to see how much our mouths work as we try and talk. Mine's already not.
I was gonna say Allie's is already gone.
Mine is not working. I guess my main picture is there's a dog in here, and she is a puppy and doesn't listen to me. So
Yeah, and apparently she is typically afraid of me, but right now, for some reason, she wants to be all up on me.
So we're working with that. But yeah, I'm ready to rock.
Let's jump right in.
Let's rock it. All right.
Rocket Raccoon.
I am Groot.
Actually, okay, wait. Now that we're talking Marvel, I gotta tell you the funniest stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so John got me into his game Marvel Snap, right? And so one of the fun parts about the game is like it's a card game with all the Marvel characters, and they each have like their own special powers, right? But the cool thing is like video games, like comic books. There's different variants of the cards that you can collect, right?
Okay.
So when I first started the game, I saw a pixel variant of a card and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And John was like, everyone hates those variants. They're the shittiest variants. Like no one wants them. I was
Why?
like, because they do like, they detract from like how pretty these cards can be. Let me show you. I still love them because to me, it looks old school video game style, right? Well, as you play the game and you level up, there's chances for you to get more and more different variants.
Okay.
The last like 5 variants I've gotten have all been this pixel variant of cards. And I'm like, John, so look, this is Nightcrawler in pixel form.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like old school video game.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great, but a lot of people hate it.
Show me a good one that people like.
Oh, yeah. That's. Do I have a good one that people like? Oh, actually, this is one of my favorites. So you probably don't know Ironheart because I didn't know Ironheart. So this is her base card.
Okay.
That's the cool variant I got.
Oh, it moves.
Oh, they all move. It's just that
Pixel one did it?
It
Or I missed
will
it.
once I upgrade it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but let me show you like some of the ones that I want to buy. Oh, I want this Cosmo so bad.
Oh, it's so cute.
So see, they all move.
I see. Do you have the pixel one?
I don't have the pixel one of that. Oh, look, this is a cool Echo. I want that Echo too.
Oh, yeah. I don't know any of these superheroes you just told me.
Only reason I know them is because of Marvel Snap. So,
Wow.
yeah, there are times when I'm like, I don't know who I'm playing. And John's like, oh, they're from this comic. And I'm like, oh thanks. Or like Echo just had her own Disney show.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And I did not watch it.
Nope, me neither. Cool. Well, that's fun.
But yeah, I just think it's hilarious because last night I got another Pixel variant and I screenshot it because it was Spider-Woman. And I was like, John, let me show you. Because I jokingly, like 2 nights ago, was like, I'm going to be able to make a Pixel deck soon, like with how many Pixel variants I've got. Because I have Sarah, Swordmaster, Nightcrawler, Quicksilver. I just got Spider-Woman. I was like, I have so many. And he was like, I hate that you love those. I was like, I just think it's fun. He's
awesome.
like, you're the only player in the game who likes them. And I was like, that's why they're giving them to me. Right? They're like, oh, you like these? Like every single time I get one, I claim it and you can set it as your favorite. So that's what I do.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Okay, now we can jump in.
Okay, let's do it. Going from Marvel to death. In Hannibal Rising, 12-year-old Lecter loses his parents and his little sister Mischa in his final death. In the final, I had
Her
it
mouth
right.
has stopped
I
working.
know, I had it right the first time.
You did.
In the final desperate days of World War II, he watches Mischa being taken away by a gang of local Nazis sympathizing thugs whom he will seek revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where his cannibalism begins.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it wasn't even like his own choosing.
I mean, it was. Like, it was and it wasn't. Like, something happened where he, unbeknownst, became a cannibal.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't know that until after
You
all
saw
the
it
time
happen.
and all the times that he chose to be a cannibal.
Yeah.
Gross. I have heard, I don't know if this is true, that once you are a cannibal, there is no other meat that tastes better, so you crave it all the time.
Probably.
That is disgusting.
I would assume.
That's horrible.
But also think about it. Because, like, there's that soccer group that was stranded in the Andes and has, like, people started dying. They started eating them for food. And I don't think they're cannibals. They just did it to survive then.
I know. Well, I mean...
Unless they came back and now they're like, God damn, I wish I could eat another human.
I know, right? Gross. Oh, no. Have you ever wondered what a person tastes like?
Yeah.
I have too.
I know. Did you know that there's a restaurant, and I think it's in England, that makes food that tastes like human?
How do they know?
I don't know. I don't want to know. But there's a part of me that wants to try it.
Oh my gosh. So gross. People are like on their phone calling the FBI on us right now. These girls want to eat people.
Want to be cannibals? No, I would never.
No way. No. I would throw it.
I was just going to say, I think just the thought about it grosses me out, but I've always wondered.
Yeah. It's like I'm over here like, oh, gross. That's an octopus. I won't eat that. And then I'm like,
human. Could be yummy. But my thought process is, as I've grown older, I've started to eat more and more like different body parts of animals, and they're delicious.
Bri's like really over here like, give me your cheeks. I hear that they're the best part.
Actually, pig cheeks are the most delicious part of the pig I've ever had. So I could believe everything they say about cheeks in this
book.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. This is not where I thought this was going.
I'm not going to go kill someone and eat them.
No. We would never do that.
No. Way to sound sarcastic, Allie. Damn. I was being serious.
I am too. Oh my gosh. All right. Author. We have Thomas Harris. That's just a hard Thomas Harris. Mm-hmm. Okay. Peter. Let's try that again. Director Peter Weber. Screenplay writer Thomas Harris. Audiobook reader Thomas Harris.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So he read this
that's
audiobook.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's
he did
cool.
actually a really good job.
Nice.
Like he had all the accents because it was
cool.
Mainly based in Germany with Russian other characters and all this.
Mm-hmm.
He did all the accents really well. Like he sounded like a professional audiobook reader.
Wow, that's awesome.
I was very impressed.
That's cool.
Yep. This book came out December 5th, 2006, and the movie came out February 9th, 2007. That is just a 2-month difference.
I forgot that you told me.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why. It's probably her fun fact.
Let's see. If it's not, I will tell you. Let's get there first.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do first?
I watched it first.
I read it first.
Mm-hmm. We flipped the switch. We flipped the script.
We did.
I mean, I guess switch works too, but that sounded weird after I said it.
It's okay. I like the script because that's...
Offscript.
Yeah. Yep. And your initial thoughts of the story?
I wanted more so what I more so thought it was going to be like a detective book. I didn't realize it was going to be so like from Hannibal's point of view, even though it's not even like first person from his point of view, but it strictly follows Hannibal. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize it was going to be like childhood to teenage years, even though I'm dumb because Hannibal Rising makes sense. But yeah, I'm mixed on this story.
So me, I, as I've said throughout this entire series, this season, I guess not series, season, I went in knowing or thinking this was a scary book because everybody's like, no, Silence of the Lamb is scary. Mm-hmm.
Allie now thinks everyone's weenies.
I do. Weenies. But I found out what it was about because I made our website, and you guys now on our website for the whatever it's called schedule. Mm-hmm. I also put the synopsis with each thing, nice. So you can go through and be like, "Oh, that sounds like a book I would like."
I should read it before their episode comes out.
Yeah, so I did that before I read it, and I was like, "Oh, it's just I feel bad for him because it's like a revenge story." So I'm like, "Oh, but that's kind of cool. Can you not kick me, dang dog?" And so I was like, "Oh, but that'll be cool because I get to see how crazy Hannibal is, right?" Mm-hmm. And so this is kind of, I am almost done with Hannibal. So I've read all of them now and almost finished the last one. Mm-hmm. This is the closest to what I sort of was expecting them all to be. Mm-hmm. Where it's from Hannibal's perspective.
Yeah.
And it's all about him. Mm-hmm. And I just still struggled with it for reasons.
I think if it were Hannibal doing his crimes that got him put in jail, then I would be even more like, yeah. But the fact that these are the crimes that are revenge and are not getting him put in jail, even though, are there 9 of the guys? Are these the 9 people he killed? Mm-mm. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think if it were about that,
that's what I
would be a little bit more into it.
Was expecting the next book to be about. And then that's what I kind of was expecting, hopefully, sort of, the next book to be about.
Oh, I know what Silence of the Lambs is about.
I knew when he's already in jail. I'm like, well. So then I expect... Actually, I'll get to that one when we get to that one. But this one, my brain can, especially when I'm not reading it and can, like, memorize this name looks like this. Mm-hmm. When I hear it, especially with the accents and like quickly read and everything, I cannot follow along unless their character names are super basic.
Yeah.
And so these are all naturally German names and Russian names, and because it takes place over there during World War II. Mm-hmm. I got very confused. So I have very mixed feelings about this book.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So we'll see which I like better. Because I don't know if I know.
I don't know either. So okay. We'll find out.
Find out along with us. Mm-hmm. All right. Why'd we pick it?
Because I wanted to read Silence of the Lambs. I'm really excited, everyone, because I just finished Red Dragon last night, and I get to finally read Silence of the Lambs like today. Mm-hmm. I cannot freaking wait. And of course, tomorrow's fucking jam packed, so I'm not gonna be able to read tomorrow.
Well, have fun.
Thanks.
All right, we got some Ellie super fun facts for you.
Woo.
Is that your new thing?
I'm going back to my woos.
Oh, you are.
Fuck.
All right. I just wanted to throw this one out there because I found it interesting, and I'm actually going to pull up. Hang on 1 second. Okay. All right. So my first fun fact. The Hannibal books were written out of order. The order in which they were published is Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and then Hannibal Rising. The order in which they happen chronologically is Hannibal Rising, Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, and Hannibal.
You don't know how many times I actually had to like fucking Google this when I was planning our schedule, because the first time I Googled, it gave me obviously publishing order.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember how I put 2 and 2 together, and I was like, that can't be right.
Yeah. Well, then the movies came out with obviously Silence of the Lambs in 91. And then we got Hannibal in 2001. And then we have Red Dragon in 2002. And then we have Hannibal Rising in 2007.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, that is just too confusing. Can y'all just get on the same page? So Thomas Harris' source novel was released 2 months prior to the film's release date. He had worked on it as well as the screenplay congruently for fear that Hannibal Lecter's prequel origin story would inevitably be written without his involvement. Film producer Dino De Laurentiis said, I say to Thomas, if you don't do the prequel, I will do it. Or someone else will.
Oof.
I don't want to lose the franchise, and the audience wants it. I was like, what the?
That's insane.
Isn't that?
That's
like,
horrible.
But like, yeah, he can't really do anything about it. They can take his characters.
They can. They absolutely can.
It would be fan
fiction.
Fan fiction. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
That would be horrible.
So that's why Bri and I were kind of talking about how we're like, why did they do it like this in the movie and this in the book? Like, we liked it better this way or that way, this way. And like, my thoughts are like, he had to write them at the same time. Maybe he wrote the screenplay and then like, he's like, oh, I don't like how I did that in the screenplay and changed it in the book, or vice versa.
Probably. I would assume so. Or he was like, fuck, I want to do this character more justice. Let me fix it.
Yeah. The scar on Hannibal's left cheek is actually Jasper Yuli's real life scar.
Oh, wow.
Yep. When he was 6 years old, a Doberman was sleeping in a garden and Yuli jumped on it, on the dog's back, and attempted to ride it like a horse.
Sounds like a kid thing to do.
The dog hit Yuli with his claws, and that made the little scar on his face that looks like a dimple.
Oh, that's funny. I really just thought it was a dimple.
I keep saying his name wrong, too. It's Yuliel. Yuliel?
Oh, yeah.
Yuliel?
Uliel?
Oh. The first Hannibal Lecter film not featured in the Frankie fashion. I don't know what that means. Fashion is the only... Oh, not to feature Frankie fashion. Let me read. Jeez Louise. I was like, what's the Frankie fashion? Teach me, Bri.
Oh, no. I was like, I've never heard of that. Oy.
Fashion is the only actor to appear in all of the first 4 Hannibal Lecter films. Look at Manhunter.
Shit.
I told you. That's based on Red Dragon. That's what they said. That could be a really easy mini-sode we do one of these weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could do that after Red Dragon if we
we for sure.
together.
Yeah. We just gotta, yeah. Okay.
So he was a Manhunter as Lieutenant Fisk, The Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and Red Dragon as Barney.
Oh.
Well.
Wow.
Interesting. So he was Hannibal. Okay. Neato. Wonder why he didn't come back.
Well, who would he be in this one? He's literally in 3 of them as the same character. That character has no need in this movie.
I don't know. He could have done cameo.
Yeah, that would have been smart. But
Right. The actor screen tested for this role for Hannibal included Hayden Christensen.
I wish.
Macaulay Culkin, Hugh Dancy, Rupert Friend, Dominic Cooper, Tom. I don't know who any of these people are.
Rupert Friend is one of Rob's friends. Dominic Cooper is from Mamma Mia. Tom Sturridge is also Rob's friend.
And Tom Payne.
I don't know that one.
I just knew the first two. Macaulay Culkin would be weird.
Yeah, I would not be okay with that.
But Hayden Christensen could do it.
He would nail it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yep.
Love him.
Yep. All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Let's go. Okay. There was a castle built 500 years ago for the Lecters. Hannibal.
You have to do this the whole time now.
Hannibal is 8 years old with his sister Mischa.
Yep.
Hannibal, let's go play.
Hannibal.
Oh my gosh, she was so cute.
Mm-hmm.
That made me so sad when I saw how cute she was. I was like, no.
Because it was going to make you not sad if she was ugly. I was like, good for you. I'm glad you're coming to your fate soon.
No, it was just sadder because, like, I guess in my head, I don't know. I don't think my brain let me picture a kid.
Yeah.
And then when I officially saw it, and then it was, Hannibal, I was like, oh, so sad. People are horrible. So Hannibal was told he needed to be back to the castle by nightfall. And he's looking for Cook when these German shoulders come. Shoulders.
Look at those German shoulders.
Shoulders.
That's a horror movie right there.
Oh my God.
This is going to be a fun one for y'all.
These German soldiers came. He recognized one of the people with them. Oh, that's what I meant. A soldier was threatening Hannibal's life to the other soldiers. That was the worst. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I went and did my notes, and my voice to text was awful. Like, it made no sense. And then I did this, like, weeks after. Like, I typed it up weeks after I had done it. I'm like, what does this mean? Clearly, I did not know.
Yeah.
Did y'all understand what I just said?
I hope you did, because that happens in the movie.
German shoulders came. Okay. Hannibal's family ran and hid in the woods. Hannibal was talking with, like, his tutor. Oh, because they were living in the woods now. So he's, like, doing school and stuff out there. And
in a cottage in the woods.
Yes. And he wanted to remember everything. And his tutor explained, you need to create a mind palace and you'll remember everything.
There is no tutor in the movie. So this bit doesn't happen.
Okay.
But they are in the wood in the cottage.
But he doesn't learn about the mind palace, right?
No.
That's
Mind palace doesn't get brought up in the movie.
Because it's very importante.
That's what
Hannibal.
I thought. That's what I thought.
Okay.
But I thought it was important to the story when I read it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I feel like I know this, but it was nothing in Red Dragon.
Okay.
I don't know yet about Silence.
Okay. So then there are details on the Nazi war going on and how people are looting bodies and houses and because they are starving and wanting money and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, that happens in the movie.
Mm-hmm. There's some Russian troops that come to their house in the woods, but all they want is water. And all the people come out and the Russians are like, no, the children can stay inside. And a German plane comes and attacks everybody except Hannibal and Mischa because they're inside. And now they're hiding and living in the basement.
This happens, but I felt like it happened much quicker in the movie. Like, I felt like it was 2 minutes into the movie, whereas in the book, it was at least like 3 chapters into the book.
Yeah, I agree.
I was like, whoa, hold on. There's so much stuff that they didn't put into the movie.
Yeah, I think that was actually one of my videos.
Okay.
I feel like
we just skipped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing, and I think it's just because it would have been gross to see how the mother dies too. She's supposed to catch on fire and she doesn't catch on fire in the movie. But I know throughout the book that kind of haunts Hannibal. Like, he sees his mother burning a few times.
Mm-hmm. So the looters, if you hear my kids, guys, I'm sorry.
I'll try to edit them out.
Okay. Looters come and they came to the Hannibal house and they're going to take him, but they're going to kill him until they find out that they have to go past the police or the police are coming or something like that. And they use them by being like, we're keeping them safe. We just came and we found them. All this sort of stuff.
Well, one thing that you don't have here is that they also have other children that with them that they put in a barn.
Yes.
Into the barn that's on Lecter's little
Land
cottage thing.
Yeah.
And you're kind of wondering, why do you have children on chains locked up in a barn?
Yep.
And the extra kids aren't in the movie. And I thought, like, obviously you get what happens to Mischa from the movie too, but I thought that kind of drove it home a little bit more.
Yeah. They should have had the extra kids.
Plus how, of course, too, in the movie, this part with the looters goes lickety split too. So.
Yeah. They were forced into a location and they had very little to eat. There was another boy in there as well. As we said, there are more kids. And Hannibal made sure to take good care of Mischa. The looters found another boy, chain around his neck, and they added him to the pile. So, like, they're collecting kids through the whole thing.
This does not happen in the movie.
Nope. It has now been 4 years since their capture. And they went out looting the old Hannibal castle. And they found this wine rack. And they pulled it down. And they found something behind the door.
Yeah, that's not in the movie.
No. They didn't really... I was confused about this part. What did they find? Just a little place that Hannibal used to play as a kid?
Wasn't it the well? I think it's the well.
Oh, okay.
That his dad, like, let him go down into...
And play.
Not play.
Oh.
Because there used to be water and stuff down there.
Oh.
He just was able to go down there once. And he thought it was really cool.
Oh. But they were like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, why? Was there water still in it? Were they like, finally we have water?
No, I don't know. I can't remember.
They were just super excited.
Because this wasn't in the movie.
No, it was not. Hannibal was now located at an orphanage. Okay. Which was the location of his old castle, right? The Hannibal Castle. Hannibal. Yep. But now he's a mute because we don't know why. Something happened to Mischa. We don't know. He got made fun of.
Oh, no. I know where you're at in the book now.
Okay.
It's Hannibal found the way to escape.
Oh, so the
something behind the door is how he got out of there.
So it's Hannibal who found something behind the door. Oh, okay. I thought it was the looters.
No, it's Hannibal's trying to figure out how to get away.
Oh, and so he
after
found
everything that happened. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because I was like, how the heck did he go from being a prisoner to now being in an orphanage?
That's how.
Okay.
Yeah, because my next note here is that they don't explain how Hannibal escaped. The next scene is just him at the freaking orphanage in the movie.
It didn't help me.
No, the movie. Yeah, the movie. I was really glad that I then was able to read the book and have that answered for me, because I was like, what in the shit? What just happened?
All right. So now he's at the orphanage.
I also, when I watched it, I thought the orphanage was a school. I thought it was like a school for all boys or something.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. It kind of looked like it.
Yeah. So reading the book helped clear that up for me, too.
So he got made fun of for being a mute and attacked a kid who made fun of him. Like, stabbed a knife or a fork in his hand or something like that, right? The headmaster let him know that his uncle is coming to take him to Paris to live with him and his wife.
He does get made fun of by kids, but he's never told about his aunt and uncle coming to take him away.
Because they do not.
Also, he has a nightmare when he's in the orphanage, and it's about the kids that are locked up in the barn. But in the movie, there's no kids locked up in the barn, so the nightmare is just his sister getting taken away from him. And there's no uncle in the movie at all. And the uncle is kind of there in the book. And how he escapes is basically his nightmare woke one of the kids up. And the kids put him in a dungeon in the castle that was his old house. So you'd think they would know.
Right.
And so he finds his way out.
So Hannibal went exploring one night in his old house. and he went past the wine rack door, and then there's a word etched in the door or in the wall that he put there when he was younger. It's just a little memory moment.
That's the well that I was talking about.
Okay.
It's in the well is where he etched it.
Okay.
So at the start of the movie, when they were running away from their castle, his mom like grabbed letters out of a dresser thing and then put them back. And now as Hannibal is escaping the school, he goes to his mom's dresser and the letters are still there. I'm like, you're how many years older and these letters are still there? I doubt that.
Right. With looters and everything, and now it's a whole orphanage.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. And now Hannibal also has to escape the Soviet border too. I was like, what the heck? Your uncle's just supposed to come and get you.
Yep. But before his uncle gets him, Hannibal is now... Nope, I read that. There's flashbacks for when he was captured because he's having his nightmares that Bri talked about. And these guards are eating like birds with the feathers on and all. And they're talking about how hungry they are. And they said to grab the girl because she isn't going to make it anyways. And Mischa was screaming for Hannibal. And he tried to save her, but one of the guards chased him and attacked him and locked him in a room.
This happens at the start of the movie, and then there are flashes of this throughout the whole movie, too.
Yeah, but I like kind of how they did it in the movie. At first, I was like, what the heck? They're not even going to show us, like, what happened? But what it was at some point in the movie, or the book, both, he's going to take some medicine to make him remember things. And so what they basically were doing was very teeny tiny memories.
Yeah.
And that's when we get basically this. Plus
what happens.
extra. Yeah. So I kind of like that better.
I like it too. Because like trauma wise, it makes sense. Because he blocked it out. So
yeah. Because like obviously from just that memory, he knows what happened to her. But he's always like, I don't know what happened to her.
I know. That's what drives me insane. I'm like, they're saying they're hungry. And they're saying to take the girl because she's not going to make it.
Like, what do we think?
And your sister's not alive right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's put 3 and 3 together here.
We're back to present time. Hannibal's uncle is now in the headmaster's office. And the headmaster let him know, hey, you need to be careful about Hannibal because he's a good kid. He always protects the younger ones and the ones that get bullied. But man, to those bullies, he's not kind.
This doesn't happen in the movie.
Nope. Hannibal moved to his new quarters in his new home. And Hannibal gets all cleaned up and he sees a Japanese lady named Lady Murasaki. And she is his aunt. She's taking a bath and he watches her for a bit and then goes back to his quarters. And he has a nightmare about Mischa being taken again.
So Hannibal somehow finds his aunt's place. And
I didn't even know she was his aunt. But how did he find her? He knew in the movie?
The picture from his mom's letters that were still in the house.
That's right.
He grabbed the letters, took them, saw the picture, found her.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he finds her. And at this point, Hannibal is still mute in the book, but his aunt the next morning is like, you must talk to me. And he goes, okay. And then just starts talking. And I'm like, part of your trauma makes you mute.
I know. And I love the reason he talks in the book. So yes, he's still mute. Hannibal finds Lady Murasaki very attractive. And she's showing him where she prays and her ancestors' armor. And she cleans it every year on the anniversary of his death. And all this like not ritual, but all this like, what's the word I'm looking for?
I would say ritual.
You would? Okay.
That happens in the movie.
Lady Murasaki and his uncle took him to a psychiatrist.
This does not happen in the movie.
Gonna cut me off and say did not happen. They did like this hypnosis on him, hoping that it would help him, but he still is not talking. The doctor let them know that something bad really happened after the war. And the doctor can see scar marks and his brain is wanting to block it out. And it's best to let his brain and body reveal it on their own time or things could get really messed up.
Yeah, and that is not what happens in the movie. That is not told in the movie. Instead, in the movie, his aunt teaches Hannibal how to freaking use a katana.
This is like a key thing.
Yeah, it is.
This is basically why Hannibal gets screwed up.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Hannibal is getting used to his new town, going to the market with Lady Murasaki and everything. And he's at the market when the butcher said some very offensive things to Lady Murasaki concerning Japanese people. And when they got home, she showed Hannibal how to make paper cranes for someone she knows who is sick from the radiation in Hiroshima.
Most of that happens except for the paper cranes, which I remember in 2nd or 4th grade. I can't remember because I had the same teacher. But we read this book about, like, I think it was 1,000 paper cranes or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's about a little girl who has, I think, leukemia or something. And she folds paper cranes. So then after that, we folded 1,000 paper cranes.
That's awesome. 30 kids. How many did y'all have to fold?
A ton.
Was it fun or was it like, oh?
No, it was actually kind of fun. It wasn't like we had to sit down and do it all in one day. I think we did like 2 or 3 a day.
Okay. And then like free time and stuff. That's cool. That's real cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then we hung them all up, and that was even cooler because we then kept them up, I think, for like the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's super cool. When they got home, did that. Lady Murasaki and Hannibal went back to the market. And the flashbacks happened, and Hannibal remembered the guard that was eating the bird with the feathers, and he recognized him as the butcher. So a fight broke out, and Hannibal attacked him. And Lady Murasaki held a knife to the butcher's throat so that they could leave without more trouble and damage.
Except for you do realize that the butcher is not the one that was eating the bird with the feathers, right?
And why did he recognize him as him?
It was his brain, like, traumatically putting it, like, oh, you were an asshole to my aunt, and this dude was an asshole to my sister.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Boom, you're superimposed.
Got it. Police showed up, and she asked them not to tell her husband, and they said, okay, we agree. And they said, this is Hannibal's last warning, though, even though it was his first warning, but okay. When they got home, someone came and yelled at Hannibal and tried to attack him, which gave his uncle a heart attack, and he died.
I mean, he attacks the butcher.
But it was, I think he attacked the butcher at the same time as the last.
The first, yeah. So then the rest of this does not happen.
At his uncle's funeral, Hannibal found his voice again because he didn't want his aunt to have to talk the whole time.
I loved that. I loved that so much. I thought it was very sweet.
Hannibal found the butcher fishing. The butcher came, and Hannibal came to Hannibal saying, I heard you found your voice. Now I need to kill you because you've seen things, or something like that. Is that what he said?
No, basically he just wanted to attack him for attacking him, and like was like,
oh, was it the other guys in the future that are like, oh no, Hannibal can talk now? Because someone freaks out that he can talk now.
It's the people that Hannibal ends up going after. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Hannibal took out the sword and sliced and diced him up, and the guy died.
Yep, that happens in the movie.
The doctor.
Oh, but in the movie, he shows the butcher a freaking drawing of his head cut off.
He's like, this will happen to you. So the doctors and investigators, like the forensic people, were all baffled by what they found because they found the butcher's body, but his head was missing.
That happens.
Where could it be?
I wonder.
Lady Murasaki went to her altar where she does all her praying and everything, and the butcher's head was there.
Yep.
She tells Hannibal he didn't have to do this. Detective Popil came, and Lady Murasaki quickly hid the head, and they asked to speak to Hannibal alone, and they went to the station with them, and he did a lie detector test, and he passed because his heartbeat like never goes above 78.
Because he's a sociopath.
Yes.
Yes, that happens in the movie.
Hannibal and Lady Murasaki moved because they can no longer have the very expensive place that they had because the man died. And women aren't allowed to have things.
Which just confused me in the movie, why all of a sudden they were like moving. I was like, hold on, this makes no sense. And then I read this and I was like, well, duh, that makes sense.
Because he was not alive in the movie. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Like, why, if he wasn't alive at the start of the movie, is this a problem now?
I know, right?
Okay.
Detective Popil did a house search and chatted with them for a little bit. And Hannibal had to go to boarding school even though he wanted to stay with Lady Murasaki.
what's weird is like this happens, but I feel like he also stays with Lady Murasaki in the movie still.
Yeah.
Because he goes to the school, but he's always at the house.
Yeah.
Whereas in the book, he comes every like weekend or whatever. My next 2 notes are that the police guy is in the book way more. Like he's there all the time. Whereas in the movie, he's just the antagonist who's there to catch Hannibal. And then in the book, I never once really thought that the aunt was ever like into Hannibal. Whereas in the movie, I'm like, oh, she's got the hots for him too.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's even weirder.
Super weird, but not blood, I guess. But still. Hannibal bought Lady Murasaki a Japanese cricket. Like, why did we need to know that?
Oh, one thing you didn't mention too, during the lie detector test, because they were pretty certain they're like, he's passing these. He has to be the one who did this to the butcher. But then Lady Murasaki sneakily goes and puts the head out where the public can see it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And she, in the book, puts it on a mailbox within a neighborhood. In the movie, she puts it on a post outside of the police station.
I know.
I'm like, really? No one saw you do that?
Right.
Okay.
And also how convenient that it just happens to be placed there when Hannibal is in.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas on a mailbox would make sense. Like, oh, maybe it was placed there a few hours ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, and then he buys her a cricket. I just thought that was the point of telling us that.
The cricket got brought up again later on in the book, but it was...
No point.
Yeah.
Hannibal got a doctor's note saying he's allergic to chalk, so he gets to sit at the back of the classroom, and he zones out and starts drawing, which we find out he's a very good drawer throughout the books.
That doesn't happen in the movie, but he does draw in the movie.
The investigators found art that is supposed to be a pair separated during the war by looters. They're trying to find the other piece, and Hannibal and Lady Murasaki were at the art auction trying to find their stolen art. He found the match, and he knew it was his because Mischa's hand was on the back of it. The art dealer was not letting him have it, though, until he files for it, and the police are interested in following up with the painting.
This whole storyline doesn't happen in the movie at all.
It doesn't need to happen.
Yeah.
These are like, this is some of the things in this book. I'm like, who cares?
This helped him get some of the people, though.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Who?
Some of the people from the beginning who helped with his sister.
Okay. That's how he found him, was from this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he was like, whoever has the other piece has to be one of the looters from.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then it
So
got
that's how he
like
found him.
the one, and then the one talked, and then, yeah. That's
Okay.
why this had to be in there. But in the movie,
Because I was like, who cares? Why am I learning about art?
I was thoroughly confused because I was like, wow, Hannibal and Popple are working together right now. And that doesn't happen in the movie.
Nope. So Hannibal went to Notre Dame. He is now a medical student at school, and he remembers very well. So he are able to draw perfect diagrams all the time. And he went to bed and had a dream about what happened to Mischa again. And he woke up, but before the end, he always wakes up before the end of his dreams, which drives him crazy because he can never find out the names of all these people. He's trying to organize his mind palace to figure out who is who, but it's not working.
He's in medical school.
That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hannibal went to prison, and he's trying to convince the guy to let them use his corpse for science because that's what he does. So Hannibal is trying to get science bodies, and this guy is on death row. Was this someone that took Mischa that was on death row?
No, this is because Hannibal is a medical student. They're trying to get cadavers, and one of the ways to do that is to ask prisoners if they want to offer up their bodies after they've been sentenced to death up for scientific purposes. And so that's what he's doing here.
I just didn't know.
It's not.
This is purely for the medicine he's about to get.
Yep.
Okay. Hannibal promised this guy drugs to help him out, and Detective Popeil was like, absolutely not. And at the execution, Popeil gave him a drug to answer some questions, and the police were like, where were all these orphan children? Just information that he's trying to do his own case, not related to Hannibal. And Hannibal gave him a placebo drug so that he would still give his body to them. And they went and collected his body, and Hannibal's like, oh, what was that medicine that he got? And he's like, oh, it's this medicine that like calms him down and helps him remember things. He's like, oh, can I take that? We need it for the lab. But in reality, he's going to use it on himself.
That happens in the movie.
Hannibal uses a drug on himself, and he remembers what happens to Mischa. This is when we get the huge flash forward, or flashback.
Flash forward.
And yeah, Mischa dies. She gets eaten. Sad. Hannibal, save me.
Yes, that happens in the movie.
Hannibal went on a train back to the Lecter castle and then to their hiding spot in the woods. He rode a horse and he was being super sneaky. And someone else also went to the castle and was watching Hannibal. Yeah? Am I right?
The dude who the main Brutus or whatever sent to watch him. Yes. He was like, okay, kid's talking now.
We got to go.
We got to get him before he can rat us out.
Yes. Caesar, the horse, started freaking out a little bit. So Hannibal, being super smart, is like, someone's here. The man watching was smacked on the head with a shovel. And when he wakes up, he sees Hannibal. And Hannibal shared about finding out what was left of Mischa's body inside the bathtub. There were like her little teeth and like her part of her skeleton. And he went outside and he buried it. And then he tied this guy up to the tree. And Hannibal was talking to him very calmly while ropes were around his neck. And then he makes the horse go and eventually pulled the guy's head off.
Yep, that happens.
Yeah. Icky. The police are looking for the guy that just died, and they found him in the woods with his cheeks missing because they're the most delicious part of a body, apparently. I mean, they don't know that, but...
I have had pig cheeks, and I would agree.
Did that happen?
Oh, yes, that happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Papil showed up to Lady Murasaki's house, and he showed her the picture of the crime scene. Showed her the picture of the crime scene. He said that she needs to tell him where Hannibal is before he gets arrested or killed.
Yep, that happens in the movie.
Brutus and the other guards that were all alive were all talking about Hannibal. They're worried that he's going to come get them. But Brutus is like, oh, no, we don't have to worry. And then he went back to his sex trafficking whorehouse.
Yeah, that happens. I'm actually realizing a lot of this happens. I have no more notes.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
All right, let me just share everything.
Yeah.
Hannibal got home and Lady Murasaki says the investigator Papil is trying to find him.
Actually, there's a part that you're going to come up on where I'm going to be like, no, that does not happen, but that's it.
Okay. Hannibal went to some place in France where one of the guards were that, like, he's now hunting down people. He had family and he worked at a restaurant. And this Hannibal ordered a milkshake and interacted with the guard's daughter. And she was wearing Mischa's bracelet. What the heck?
I know. I would be mad.
So mad.
Mad.
Hannibal put something in her pocket. And when the family went to church, she tried to pay the offering. But it was all the dog tags from the guys Hannibal has already killed.
That part doesn't happen. The dog tags part at the church. But the rest of that happens.
Hannibal and Lady Murasaki basically almost had sex. But didn't. Weird. She asks him to promise her he won't hurt anyone more or hurt anyone else. And he's like, no, because I already promised Mischa. I'm like, oh, that's when you run, lady.
Yeah. That happens in the movie.
Hannibal's at school, hospital, some medical place.
He's at the school,
okay,
but it's basically
the hospital.
Yeah.
Medical school. And he ended up stabbing one of the guards in the neck with a syringe, and he ends up killing him, like throwing him in something.
I know. I don't really know what it is.
I don't
it's
either.
like a pool with dead people in it.
It was gross. Later, Papil finds Hannibal and let him know if he murders in France, he will have him arrested and killed.
Yes, that happens.
A piano was delivered to Brutus's, and Hannibal could find out where he lived. That was the whole point. Okay.
That happens, except for the one thing here is the person who was supposed to be coming back with the piano was the person who Hannibal just killed. And Hannibal then gave the person who ended up delivering the piano a message to give to Brutus in the book. That doesn't happen in the movie.
So they went to the bathroom, and Hannibal pops out to get Brutus because Brutus is taking a bath.
Mm-hmm.
And Brutus makes a mockery of it. He's like, oh, you're so silly, Hannibal. A little more intense than that. Some of the other guards come and get Hannibal, and he's trapped. And they're about to kill him when an explosion happens, and a huge fight breaks out, and Hannibal ends up getting out of there before the fire department and cops show up. He drove off on his motorcycle, and the muffler fell off.
That happens except for his muffler.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't fall off.
Hannibal was in custody with investigator Popil, and they were just chatting. Popil says that he's going to drop all charges if he promises to help him find all the other guys. He has Hannibal swear on Lady Murasaki that he will help.
That happens. I don't remember him making him swear on Lady Murasaki, though. I think he just is like, help us. And then once he's out of the room, he's like, okay, once he leads us there, we got to arrest him.
Yeah. Because I should have finished, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He agreed and left, and Detective Popil was like, okay, we will charge him with the murder of the butcher because that happened when he was a minor. So he'll be sent to an insane asylum, but because he's a monster. So he won't be on the streets, but he's not going to be
in jail.
Mm-hmm. Hannibal gets a phone call from Brutus saying that a life for a life because he had Lady Murasaki hostage.
Mm-hmm. That happens.
Hannibal got to the guard's restaurant. And just say the guard because I don't know their names at all. He said he went into the kids' room earlier that night, his kids' room, and he slid Mischa's bracelet across the table. And then he put a bag on the table dripping with blood. The guy freaked out, but it turned out it was just a steak and a melon. This was the scene I was listening to. Do you remember when we recorded Howls? And you're like, you haven't told me how you like what you're.
Oh.
And I was like, I just listened to a part that made my mouth drop.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, he gave her his daughter's head. No, he didn't. Because the guy freaked out and turns out it was just a steak and a melon. Hannibal said the kids are alive, but he will spare his life too if he gives him Lady Murasaki. He didn't believe him, he didn't believe Hannibal, so he left to call home. As he was checking, he found out they were okay, and he slowly pulled out a gun, but Hannibal was too quick and stuck him with a knife in his head.
Yeah, that happens.
Mm-hmm. Hannibal ended up getting to Brutus, and they had a fight, and Brutus shot Hannibal in the back. Hannibal seemed paralyzed, and he's about to go rape and torture Lady Murasaki, and going to make Hannibal watch, but Hannibal ended up pulling out the samurai sword and going down on top of him. And Brutus, because somehow he can walk now, but he couldn't before. Was he just that good of a, like, when Brutus was stabbing his foot, he's just that calm. Man, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there's things that I have read that I was a freaking psycho.
What are you doing?
Brutus said, hey, you need to kill yourself too if you're killing everyone who ate Mischa because you were fed her. And this made Hannibal start etching M's all over his body for Mischa.
Mm-hmm. Because that's also something that they used to do as kids. Was they would write in children's hands like M for Mischa.
Oh, yeah. And Lady Murasaki was begging him to stop. And when he finally did, she ran away from him. Mm-hmm. Hannibal was detained, and Lady Murasaki and him got to chat for a little bit. She said she doesn't know who he is anymore, which makes her sad because she left him. And he ended up going to America and got a job at St. Hopkins, which is funny because Anthony Hopkins.
I bet the author did that on purpose.
Yeah, definitely. And Lady Murasaki sent him a note saying she was going home to Japan.
So basically, the ending ends right after Brutus gets killed, but Lady Murasaki and him do have their little chat, and then that's it.
And then I don't understand what the heck this was. He's like, gives a key to someone. He ends up at a funeral. Or he doesn't end up, but this person had a funeral. And then Hannibal's at a taxidermist, and he orders something, and he convinces the guy to let him go behind the counter.
Because he's still hunting them down. So this is him now going and hunting down the rest of them.
Okay, so that might have been the 8 or 6 or whatever.
That's what I was wondering.
Neato. And that's it.
That is it.
So casting, we have 65 people.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess the war scenes.
Yeah. We had Jasper Ulili as Hannibal.
He did okay. I mean, once I found out Hayden was potentially him, I wanted him.
Yeah.
So
I thought he did fine.
Hayden, where you at?
Zhang Li is Lady Mirasaki.
She did good.
I liked her a lot.
Me too. I feel like we got to do Popple. I thought that was him. That's hilarious. Dominic West is Inspector Popple. Dominic West is someone who was almost Hannibal.
Oh, look at that.
So I bet they liked him enough to...
Yeah, keep him.
I love him. He's really good. He's from Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
I thought it was him, but he looked way young.
Yeah. Rice Iffens. He's Gertis.
He's so good. He's such
big bad.
He's such a good bad guy.
Yeah, he was. Kevin McKidd, Clonus. He was the restaurant owner.
He did good.
Yeah. Yep. And Helena Leah
Tchaikovsky.
is Mischa.
She was so cute.
She was so cute.
She was so sweet.
And Aaron Thomas was little baby Hannibal.
He was cute.
He was a good kid too.
Yeah.
Is the theme of the book and movie the same?
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm actually shocked. I thought this was way more off than it was. Like when I rewatched it and was taking my notes, I was like, oh, they did so much wrong. And now I'm like, actually, no, this was way spot on.
This was one where I was like, okay, they have the umbrella. And if I want to get nitpicky, there's differences. But overall,
it's there.
They got it.
Yeah.
Do the characters stay true to how they're written in the book?
Yeah. I think so.
Which do you prefer?
Do you know?
I'm going to go movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked some of the details in the book, but I didn't like all of them. And I'm like, oh, I don't need to know all this. And then just the names were confusing. So when I could see the person, I'm like, oh, I know who that is. And like, okay, he was there and there and
Piece
there and there.
Together.
It made more sense to me.
I think I have to go movie too, just because this wasn't very detective-y.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted in the story.
Yeah.
So I think for that purpose, for the purpose of this story, it was better played out in the film. And it's not like they were completely different.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not missing much if I just watch the movie.
Right. I was bummed because I kind of said this at the beginning. This is what I was expecting, right? Following Hannibal.
Yeah.
But it's a mix of I couldn't follow along great, but also I knew it was young Hannibal and I wanted like
Old
Anthony
Hannibal.
Hopkins who like been around and he like knows.
He's eating people left and right.
He knows how to kill people. And I want to see his psychotic brain.
Yeah.
And how he thinks. And so it didn't really feel like a Hannibal to me.
No.
It just felt like another book.
Yeah. I agree.
Like it almost didn't feel like part of the series type of thing.
Yeah, for real.
So
apart from them eating the people.
yes. And the name over and over. Hannibal.
Hannibal.
Would you recommend it to a friend?
I think maybe like not the book, the movie, to like give them an idea of Hannibal and why he is who he is.
Yeah. I am giving my mom the Spark Notes version.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this is why Hannibal does this.
Yeah.
They ate his sister.
And fed it to him.
Yes. What the heck? But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to know his backstory, but
All right, guys, we did it.
we did.
So you should go take a look at our website. Offscript253.wixsite.com/offscript. Take a look at our merch.
Oh, yeah.
Sign up for our newsletter.
What? Go get some little library bookmarks. Like, look at that. What a cute picture.
It is.
We got all about us. Oh,
Cute.
Bri. Oh, there's all about Bri. There's all about Alli. And then, oh, shoot. We need you guys. We need questions. We have this question and answer page to get to know us.
Did you see the one that they put on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to
outdate.
We have to do it.
Okay.
So come give us some questions. Because
Yeah.
right now it just says question.
Bri Alli.
Question.
Bri Alli.
So we need to do that. Whoopsies. We have easy access to all of our episodes here. That's such a cute picture.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And so you guys, and then what's new? What's going on with us in the Offscript world? Our schedule. How nice. Oh, like Bri said, our shop. And then our contact us. So you can get, just talk to us. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can go little free libraries. Just great ideas all around.
All around.
Yep.
But you should also rate, subscribe, and review.
Yes.
Subscribe on all your platforms,
Yes.
including YouTube.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta go to YouTube, you guys. We have fun stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, we do. We make little videos for... You've seen the TikToks. We make reaction videos. We make videos for when we go do some cool things. But YouTube gets the longer versions.
Yeah. You can also listen to our episodes on YouTube. So if you pay for YouTube music, go listen to us. Why not?
Please do. And give us a review.
Yeah. And then we have our Wednesday minisode. Oh, wait. First season 6 listener picks.
Yes. Send us what you would like to hear in season 6.
Yep.
We've got a few spots left.
Yep. And then Wednesday's our minisode.
Monday, we're continuing the series with Red Dragon.
What?
Let's see how that goes.
I think it's more of what we were expecting.
Yeah.
Or you were.
For sure. For sure.
Yes. You've also seen that one.
Yes, I have. And I remembered that one way more than this one and Hannibal Rising. Or nope. This one and Hannibal Rising.
Yes. And yeah.
So with that, Hannibal Rising went off script. Bye.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, we would greatly appreciate it if you gave us 5 beautiful stars, reviewed, and subscribed.
You can also follow us on Facebook at Offscript, on Instagram at Offscript Podcast 21, and on TikTok at Offscript_pod.
Shoutouts to Madame Shen Creations for our adorable logo art.
And Adam Daniel for our incredible theme song.
And to Creative Cinephile Productions for producing our podcast. See you next time.